Welcome to the Focused Mindset Podcast. This week, we're going to have 7 consecutive days of about 7-minute podcasts. We did this, it's been about a year ago now, and I've been meaning to do this again with you, and this is the week to do it. Why? Because I'm so excited about my release of my new journal, 30 Days to Higher Hopes. 30 Days to Higher Hopes has been built on research and books that I've read and all of the solution-focused practices that I've been doing. It kind of, in a very short and easy format, is all in the 30 Days to Higher Hopes. Because I really believe that even though you're going to see that I do many, many journals with the same GPS solution-focused mindset attached to it and all of the things that you'll learn from the GPS life system that we're going to be talking about in the future. It all starts with building hope. It all starts with knowing that hope is not a wish. Hope is something that we have deep within us that helps us to take a step forward. Have you ever noticed that sometimes when something happens in our life that's crushing, that's devastating, that just hits us to our core, that everything becomes so foggy and so distant that it's like we know that hope is out there somewhere. We know that it exists because we felt it before, but it just seems to be something that's inaccessible, something that's impossible. And our mind begins to tell us, that's just not there for you anymore. That's a lie. The truth is our mind wants to lie to us. It wants us to believe in a moment of darkness that hope isn't possible at all. But there is light. Through the clouds, through the rain, there's a sunshine that's shining, and it will be shining once again, and it will shine for you. If we want to really be able to move forward towards being our best self, however, we need to be able to have tools to cultivate that hope within us, to find it within us, to be able to remember what our values are and realign ourselves with our values and realign ourselves with the things that we want to do in spite of the things that we've been through. That's something that can be very difficult. It could be something that seems impossible, but I want to challenge you no matter where you are in your life right now. No matter what moment that you're in, whether you feel like you've been in a depression for so long you don't remember when you've ever felt this way, felt normal again, if you will, or whether you're just in a place where you're like, I'm in a rut. I'm in a rut and I don't know how to get out. No matter what it is, I want to challenge you to just write an affirmation for yourself. One hopeful thought, one thing that you wish could happen, and not in a wish like you have a fairy godmother, but something you know in your heart you just really want it to be accomplished. In these next 7 days, we aren't going to get so heavy like I just am right there, but it's important for us to start there because we've all been in that state, haven't we? And if you are there, I want you to know hope is here for you. At the very beginning of my journal, again, let me tell you real quick, I'm going to be going through as much as I can of my journal in the next 7 days in these short podcasts. But if you want the whole thing, hop onto Amazon, look up 30 Days to Higher Hopes. You can get it. You can check it out. And today we're just going to talk about that affirmation. The beginning of the book, rather than the page that says, this book belongs to blah, 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 I say Higher Hopes affirmation on this day. I promise to have an open mind as I write new thoughts. I choose to believe in a hopeful future. Man, it might feel kind of awkward to say that if you haven't chose to believe in a hopeful future in a while. But let's take a minute to do that right now. Let's just open our mind up to the possibilities that are out there, even if we haven't visited those possibilities in a very long time. Now let's just breathe in, breathe out, and think, I choose to believe in a hopeful future. Again, I choose to believe in a hopeful future. Say it out loud. I mean, if you're not in the line at the bank, and that would be awkward. Say that out loud and hear yourself and see how it feels when you say that. Many times I talk about how when I'm with kids, one thing I love is their hopefulness that's just within them. When I say, what do you want to accomplish out of life? Even the kids that are right in the middle of a catastrophe, they can tell me about some things they really like to do. And you can see that they light up. You know, my daughter is getting ready to be time to drive a car now. I can't even believe that my youngest one is in high school this year. But she was telling me about the cars that she's going to own. And she was saying, you know, first I'm going to have a pickup truck. Then I'm going to have a convertible. And I'd really like to have a Porsche. And I'm going to have, and she started naming all these cars. My daughter's always been into cars. I'm telling you, ever since she was in a car seat, she'd be pointing out the most amazing cars and wanting me to look at them. So I have no doubt that incredible cars are in her future. But it was so great to listen to her talk about the cars she's going to have without thinking about how much they're going to cost or what it's going to take to make that or what she'll have to do for a living in order to make that happen. Hey, that stuff will come. In that moment, she was just telling me about all the cars she was going to have. And I loved listening to her. I don't want to squash that. I don't want to squash that hope because life does that for us very well and good. I don't need to do that for her. I don't need to tell her, be realistic, honey, because she's going to naturally find out what that takes. And eventually those conversations will happen. I know that will happen. But it was actually really fun listening to her. It's fun listening to even a younger child when they're saying they're going to be a beautiful fairy princess. Why is it so fun to listen to that? It's because something within us, we identify with it. We identify with having that hope. So in order for us to be able to cultivate hope in our life, the very first step is to be able to understand affirmations is a big part of it. Affirmations is not just some woo-woo thing that doesn't work because it should be rooted in truth. It should be rooted in who you really are. Something as simple as this affirmation at the beginning of my book, 30 Days to Higher Hopes, can start to put you on the right track. I'm going to read it again so you guys can really take it in and you can remember that today can be the very first day that you dedicate to having higher hopes. On this day, I promise to have an open mind as I write new thoughts. I choose to believe in a hopeful future. Now, this book is a writing book because I've always believed that journaling is one of the very, very best ways for us to basically self-coach ourselves or build on to the coaching that we've been doing with others or be able to make the things our own, right? Because it's great for someone to tell us something, but if we don't take ownership, just like I tell you about your kids, if your kids don't take ownership of something, they're never going to really fully get to the point where they do it on their own. You're going to feel like you're doing stuff for them. That's another story. But the very first step to doing that is write out affirmations that mean something to you, that you want to accomplish, and then commit to them and sign it. Sign it like a document, like you would if you were buying a car. I wanted to share this very first page of my book with you because I believe that it can help you today to move forward just that little bit closer to having a hopeful future. Now, you can get 30 Days to Higher Hopes on Amazon. You can find it by looking up amazon.com/share-kretz and all of my journals will pop up, or you can look up 30 Days to Higher Hope. I hope that you get that. Now, for those of you that are podcast listeners, if you buy the book and you email me at share@thefocusedmindset.com and show me a picture of the book, or you can DM me on my Instagram, Share the Focused Mindset, show me the book. I am going to be able to send you the digital copy. All right. So I can't wait to be able to do that. I just want to be able to have you guys have it in your hands and be able to use it in any capacity that you see fit. So check out the links in the show notes. I always mention that to you guys because I always put all the ways that you can get in touch with me, how you can get these tools in your hands. And my hope is that in the next week to come, you will feel like you can be more solution focused, that your problem talk will begin to fade away in your life, and you'll begin to see all the many solutions that are around you. So until next time, keep in touch and take care.